No, tell us secrets, Kat.
What's crack-a-lackin'?
Got to celebrate my girls' graduation this last weekend in Texas Christian University.
I think that's awesome. All right, so now we have to talk to the heat of the sun.
Okay,
Oh, it's on?
If you abuse it, I'm just going to block your number.
Yes.
Right. That's
And
all.
I said your name. You always let me
Kandi,
say your name. I'm
I
sorry.
do. No, it's
I
fine.
just usually don't do
No.
that. Hey, welcome back for another episode of Real Talk with Kandi and Garrett. Kandi is still on her vacation in Norway, but she found time to have some real talk with a real estate guy out in Norway that's been doing it for over 20 years. That is insane. But what's awesome is that he's going to bring some light on what some of the differences that they have in Norway and what some of the similarities they have between the United States and Norway to see kind of what's going on into a different country. It's kind of really interesting to watch. So you guys stay tuned and check it out here.
Welcome to Real Talk with Kandi and Garrett, still here in Norway, and we are so excited, you guys. So while you know the real in Real Talk is a capital R and a capital E for real estate, we are definitely doing real estate here today in Norway. So we are sitting down with Per Arne. Did I say your name correctly?
Yes, that's
okay.
right.
And he is broker and co-owner of his real estate company. And what's the name of your company?
Norway, Larvik.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so we're so excited because what I've learned from being here for the last couple of weeks is that real estate is definitely different in Norway than it is in America. And so Per has actually been doing this for over 20 years. Tell me how, so in America, we generally have, if you're listing your house for sale, you call an agent and they list your house. And then generally that agent can represent both the buyer and the seller, but usually it's a buyer's agent so there's usually two agents on every transaction, but that's different here, right?
Yeah.
Tell us how it generally works for you guys. So you have somebody that wants you to list their house. What does that look like for you?
We have I say only because it's 97% sellers that's going to sell their house. And we get a job for selling the house, and then we are the one and only broker for that house.
So your job is to sell it and to find the buyer.
And find the buyer.
Okay.
Yeah. So we have lists on potential buyers for houses in different areas.
Okay.
But we are the seller's man or woman until the house is sold.
Oh, got it. Okay.
Yeah. Mm.
And what does a time frame like that look like? So my understanding is in Norway, it isn't like your home is to be lived in, and it's not necessarily an investment opportunity where you're just looking to see when you can make the next amount of money to sell. So it's a little bit different, right? People own their homes for a little bit longer.
I think, that's been a process where people, my grandparents, they lived in the house until they died.
Right.
They built their house and they lived there until they died.
Yeah. And that's pretty common, right?
Yeah, but now you have it's changed a little bit because now you buy, when you're a first-time buyer, you buy a small apartment.
Okay.
And then you excessively bigger house with a garden,
Got it.
And when you're old again, you buy smaller apartments. So it's a cyclist,
Sure.
But yes, we live in the house for a long time, yeah. But it's also for many people a good investment because the prices are increasing every year. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that's what they say with real estate, right? The longer you can hold on to it, generally the better it is for you.
Yeah.
Yeah, so no, that's really interesting. And so to become a real estate agent in Norway, so just for the sake of it, in America, especially California, it could be different based on the state. But the California requirement to become a real estate agent is that we have to have 3 classes. So you take real estate principles, a real estate practice, and then there's one elective out of a couple of options that you have. And that qualifies you to actually take your state exam. Then once you pass your state exam, you can be licensed, and then you choose what broker you want to go work for. So to become a real estate agent in Norway, it's a much more extensive process.
Yeah, you have to have 3 years in college. It's practically an economic
bachelor's degree
in economics with the main course in real estate. Yeah, so in 3 years, and after 3 years you start in an office and you work 2 years. You have to have 2 years with experience, and then you are a broker.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So do you choose if you want to be a broker? Like there's some people that don't want to become a broker, or is it just an automatic thing?
For the most part, it's automatic because you get a job in an office, and then you have the 2 years, and then you get to get your degree when you're finished. Yeah,
that's so cool.
But you have some parts you have to do. You have to do. I don't know what you call it, but the money transfer. And all that you have to be through to get your final exam. Yeah.
Got it. So you have to have like a financial side of it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
No, that is so interesting. And so to be a broker, like with that broker's license, can you do real estate and lending, or is it just sales that you're doing?
It's sales. And we have also banks that we are connected to.
Okay.
But then you have to also have courses in bank lending to have that connection. Because if you don't keep that updated every year, you lose it, and then you can't. But we don't sell mortgages. Yeah, we don't sell that. We have connections that do that for us.
Got it.
Yeah.
Okay, that makes sense. And then what about property management? So rentals. Do you guys have a lot of rentals, or is it pretty much home ownership?
We don't do that, but you have some companies that are specialized in rentals. Yeah, and they do only that. But for us, that you have to have many houses or many customers to do that. So we don't do that. We do this selling. Yeah.
Got it. No, that's so interesting. And so for, let's say you go into contract. So you have a house, you've met with the seller, you have listed the house for sale, and you have more than one person that's interested in it.
Yeah.
So tell me how that process works.
Yeah, then we have the open house where we're showing the house and the land around and everything. And then we open for bidding. And then I use the phone all day, call all the interest and make them come with a bid. Oh. And they can bid over each other. And when it's high enough or low enough, it's sold.
Okay.
Yeah.
So is there a time frame that you put on that? Like we're gonna take bids for 7 days, or is it just as long as they keep coming in, you keep doing it?
The rule, because it's rules around that also, we have the open house, and after the open house you can make an offer, but that offer has to have a period to the next day before it's accepted by the seller, you know.
Oh, okay.
But it can take as long as it takes. If it's the day after the open house, or a week after, or 2 weeks after,
Okay.
But then my job is to call and get all the interest and get the bidding higher. Yeah.
Oh, that's so interesting. So someone puts in an offer, and they have to wait 24 hours before a seller could accept it. But then in that time, another offer comes in.
Yeah.
Do you call the original person and say, hey, another offer came in if you want to bid again?
Yeah.
Do you tell them how much the offer came in for?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you're telling them in case they want to come in higher than that. So
it's almost like an auction, you know? Yeah. Yeah.
That's so interesting. Okay. So so the seller chooses, so basically it's the highest bidder.
Yeah.
It's either one offer that waits 24 hours and is accepted or countered or whatever you do with it, or it's an auction and you're selling it to the highest bidder.
Yes.
And then from the time that an offer is accepted, how long does the process take to close escrow generally? Or to close the sale?
The sale is closed when the bid is accepted. Then there's no way back.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So when the bid is accepted by the seller, it's sold.
Oh, wow.
It's like in an auction when you
like it's done.
Then it's done. Yeah.
Wow.
So then the the seller cannot take it back or the bidder cannot take it back. It's sold. Yeah.
Oh my gosh, that's so interesting. Okay. And then, so from that period of time, does it have to, like in California, we have to have it recorded with the county recorder. So it has to be like the deed is actually on record. Do you have to do anything like that, or is it just an agreement between the two of them that's signed?
It's an agreement with the seller and the buyer.
Okay.
And after it's accepted, we make the contract and everything, the paperwork afterwards, and then it's practically sold when the bid is accepted.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you have title companies or anything that facilitates the handling of the transfer of title? So how does that work? Like in California, we have a title company that they make sure that the title is clear, and then they do the transfer from the previous, from the seller to the new buyer. Do you have any kind of a company that does something like that?
No, we do it ourselves, and we have the it's a state where all the records for who's owning the house. So that's what you call the tinglysning. I don't know what.
Okay.
Yeah. So when the sale is done, we fill out a form where the name of the seller is and the buyer, how much it cost and everything, and we send it to the state. And the state have the register, and you get the paper for owning the house afterwards.
Oh, yeah. Okay. So you guys do a lot.
We do everything.
You do everything. Okay. So on a personal note, as far as commission is concerned, so what would be an average price here in Larvik, Norway, which is a very nice place to live. I mean, you can see it's a beautiful area in Norway. What would be an average price of a home here? And if you say kroners, we'll go into dollars. We'll convert it.
I think if you want a house, I think it's. I just have to turn it off.
Sure.
For a regular house, I think the average price is 4.7 million crowns.
Okay.
And that's maybe $450,000.
Yeah, $450,000. Okay.
But you have the range from 1 million to 10, 15, 20 millions.
Right.
Yeah. So it all depends on where.
Got it. And so we have, the ratio right now with kroners to dollars is it's a little over 10 kroners to $1.
Yeah.
So since we've been here for the last 2 weeks, when we see a price, we pretty much divide by 10, right?
Yeah.
So if it's $449, we know it's going to be $44.90 for us as far as dollars are concerned when you're doing that ratio in your head.
Yeah.
So when you're saying 15 to 20 million, it's really about $1 to $2 million.
That's right.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then, so how much, so you're doing pretty much everything. You're the buyer's agent, you're the seller's agent, you're the title agent, you're pretty much everything.
Yeah, we are the seller's agent until it's sold.
Okay.
And when it's sold, we are the broker between the seller and the buyer.
Okay.
So then we are the middleman, if you can call it that. Yeah.
Okay.
So then we are on both sides, but until the bid is accepted, we are the seller's man, and then we are the middleman. That's the
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
And how long does it generally take for an offer to be accepted? Because it's so for us, we have an offer that comes in. It makes sense. The buyer agrees, the seller agrees. We go into contract, but they have about 17 days to back out. The buyer does if something happens and they don't like it. But it sounds like once they're in the deal with you guys, they're in the deal. So is there a time frame that generally that happens in? I mean, is it from the time that the buyer says, here's what I want to offer, and the seller starts looking it over? How long would you say before they actually say sold?
I have a bid ongoing today.
Okay.
That bid came in this morning. The bid was on amount, it was 1 million or something.
Okay.
The accept is today at 2 o'clock.
Oh, wow.
So the seller have to decide until 2 o'clock if he's gonna say yes or no.
Oh, okay.
And when he say yes, I call the buyer and say he accepted. Then it's closed. Then the deal is closed.
And now the process starts of all the paperwork.
Yeah.
Okay. And how long does that process take generally to where like the seller has to move out and the buyer can actually move into the house?
Yeah, I think 2 to 3 months. I do the paperwork in maybe 1 week, and then they have agreement for when the overhand is going to take.
Oh, okay.
2 to 3 months.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's so interesting to me. Okay, so you do all of this work. What would you say your percentage is that you actually, so as an agent, you make how much percent of that sale?
I think the normal is between 1.5% and 2% of the total amount.
To do everything?
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow, that's amazing. And
that's low because I don't think
it's very low. Yeah. Well, I mean, it's just what's customary for here. You know, for us, the standard would be that the buyer's agent would make 2.5%, and the listing agents would make 2.5%. Yeah. So a seller generally is paying 5% for the wholesale. Yeah. And so more than double what they're paying here.
Yeah, but I think we have the percent is maybe 1.7, 1.8.
Okay.
And additional to that is all the advertising to get all the paper done. So I think for a normal house sale, the cost for a seller would be 150 to 200,000 crowns.
Oh, okay.
The total amount. Yeah.
So a seller pays for the advertising. Yeah. They pay for all the paperwork. They pay for all of that.
Yeah. The only thing the buyer is paying for is the fee for the state. They have 2.5% for buying a property.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. So, and I think ours is a little over 1% for a purchase that they have to pay the state.
Yeah.
So what would you say on average? So you're a good real estate agent. We are meeting with the best real estate agent in Larvik. So if you guys are ever in Norway and you want any kind of referrals, this is your guy, and we're going to put his contact information in the podcast so you can reach out to him. But
thank you.
If you are, what would say a good real estate agent who makes a living doing this, just real estate, how many homes do you sell a year?
I think you should sell about 50 homes.
50
homes.
50.
Yeah.
Wow. And that is, you're able to sell in all of Norway or just Larvik?
We can sell all over, but we stay in Larvik because that's the area we know.
Yeah, it's the area you know. And then, so we're winding down here, and I have so many more questions, so I'm going to wrap it up really fast. But to list a property for sale, do you we have what's called a multiple listing service, and it's where all of the homes go into this one area that then kind of syndicates out to Zillow and Realtor.com and Homes.com. Do you have like a listing service that somebody can look up all the homes that are for sale in Norway?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's practically it's a website.
Okay.
It's called fin.no.
Okay.
There you find everything.
Oh, that's so cool. Okay. Awesome. Well, anything that you think is unique or special, or anything that you want to share with anybody in the United States about real estate in Norway?
Yeah. I think the reason for me to stay in real estate for 20 years is the people. You meet a lot of different people, and the most exciting with it is to get a home for listing and selling it.
Yes.
It's a unique experience every time.
It
and
is.
You have a happy seller and you have a happy buyer, and
largest purchase they're going to ever make in their life, right?
Yeah.
That's so cool. Well, we cannot be more grateful to you sitting down with us and taking this time to explain this to us.
That's cool.
So we will be in touch if we have anybody wanting to buy or sell in Norway. You're our guy. Awesome. Thank you very much, Per.
Thank you.
Yes. So that was super fun, our interview with Per Arne in Larvik, Norway. And after we hung up the camera or stopped the camera, we actually had a conversation because I had some follow-up questions, but we were out of time. And so it was very interesting to find out that the seller actually does all of the inspections before they even list their house. So when a buyer comes to the table, they received every single thing you can receive about that house. So when they're saying yes to everything, or they go into a negotiation and a counter. But once they actually say yes and the offer is accepted, they know the exact condition that house is in. So that made a lot of sense to me when he said it was like at an auction, when it says sold, it's yours. That's really how that process works, because they've already seen everything that there could be seen about the house. So anyway, that was just something I wanted to follow up with. That was very, very exciting. And now back to you, Garrett.
Provided in this podcast is for general informational purposes only. All opinions expressed are those of the host and guests and do not reflect the official stance of Berkshire Hathaway Home Services or Berkshire Hathaway Home Services Divine Properties or any affiliated entities. This podcast does not constitute legal, financial, or real estate advice, and listeners are encouraged to consult with qualified professionals regarding their specific needs. While we strive to provide accurate information, we make no guarantees regarding the completeness or reliability of any information discussed. We are not responsible for any actions taken by listeners based on the content of this podcast. Additionally, topics covered in the podcast are based on the host's experience and opinions and may not apply to all situations. Listeners are reminded that real estate laws and regulations may vary by location, and information may become outdated over time. By listening to this podcast, you agree to release the host, guests, and any associated entities from any liability related to the topic.